Traditional user and group-based file permissions in Unix are convenient and compact. It requires only a few bits set on each file. It's quick to check, and it's relatively expressive. Most things you want to do can be done that way, but sometimes it is too limiting. The generalization of the system is called an access control list, and that is where you can associate multiple users and groups to a file and give each of those users and each of those groups different specific permissions. The permissions that you can assign might just be RWX still, or they could be even more general, depending on the OS and file system. On Windows, for example, if you dig in deep enough to the permissions on a file, then you'll find that you can add new users and new groups, and the permissions you can control are much more than just read and write. You can make a folder traversable or list, or read some extra attributes or not, or be able to create files separately from creating folders, and so on. Keeping all of this information with the file requires more bits and requires more checking, but sometimes that is worthwhile. And again, exactly what you can do depends on the operating system. Access control lists are not just for files, and they can be used in other settings as well. For example, if you set up systems in Amazon AWS, the analogy to groups there is called roles, and for each role that a user might take on, you can specify specific actions that they can perform, such as creating a new S3 bucket, or starting servers, or shutting down or interrupting processes, and so on. A much, much larger list even than the kinds of access control that Windows files provide.